Because if we're going to get to the next bit where we're going to actually have reliability, so it means we actually are on at a certain time, then
Consistency
I say consistency
is required.
is required.
All right.
Yeah.
I've started the general recording for the preamble.
Yeah, it's all good. Wow, the blue is interesting. So the green hair, it's fine. My skin's a little washed out because I guess
Hang on, let me do a bit more tweaking
my skin's
on
sort of
the
like not
filter. No, hang
lost a
on,
bit of.
because I've got.
It's like I've gone a bit too bluish or something.
No, I'll just dial back the slide. Pull up the smoothness, color spill reduction, and that looks better. Hang on, I'm just gonna clip out your. Do that. Yes, okay, cool. That's where you were before. Top and bottom, I've down a bit. Getting pro at this now, man. Getting pro.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
pro.
I even opened up all the things before I called you.
Yes.
Just
Amazingly amazing. I'm not just going to be amazing. I'm going to be amazingly amazing.
Amazingly amazing. I just gonna move my bag over here. Get that bit of wine I got left.
Pop up some
A
monitoring.
little bit wine.
Channel. Studio open. Cheep Studio open. So what did you think of my my brain frog?
I mean,
I was just going off. Like some points fucking
I don't know. You're just, I don't know. So just, I wonder what you were doing. And in part, I guess you're just reading it out, just sort of being like an
reading what they've
informing.
written.
Yeah, that's it.
Essentially. I mean, you can't go wrong for getting information wrong if they're the ones that wrote it. Right? In their words, as they would
So
say.
did you get like a special COVID?
I got a COVID banner. And I commented underneath and just said, thank you very much for the COVID banner. Hopefully it gets me more views. Special thank you to YouTube for, you know, pointing people in the right direction, you know. I'm not going to be misdirecting them with my thoughts. You know, they can get all the real information at the COVID website. You know, for all the full propaganda, please go to the COVID website.
Propaganda.
Propaganderings. Having a good propaganda at it.
That's like, oh, high 20, not even high 5 or 10, man. That's just having a propaganda at it.
Having a good fucking propaganda at it, bro. Looking real close.
It's that's actual gold right there. That was cool. I don't know if you just whipped that out of the whippings or
that
you
was just
found
out of
that out of the whippings.
plucked out of the ether. That one.
That was fucking goldness, man.
Gold, mate.
Gold
for Australia. Gold for Australia. Man, what a week it's been. I don't know about you, but I've had a fucking week. Been a big one. Should set up for the live now. You're all ready to go.
All right. Yeah, and I'll get the link, and I want to I'm going to share it with my friend Kale once we're live. And I'll send it to her so she can like tune in and listen to us if she wants to. I said if she wanted to, like I could probably work out how to zoom her into a call. And then she said she wanted to be a flower.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
I can make her weed.
That works.
Can be a weed. I can take her face and turn her into a mole leaf.
Oh, like have you got a character?
I got a character in the other program I use, the Animes, the one I use for the AI. There's a character in there which is just like a weed, like a mole leaf.
Go on.
Yeah, fully, bro.
And can you just pull her voice from? Oh, how would we? If she called in via Messenger or something like that,
Well, I'd screen cap
could you
her
separate
face,
this?
I'd screen cap her thing, and then I'd use that to run the avatar control. Like I'd use the wecam.
Oh, you just put it on the other laptop. It'd just be a Kenny, but with a different.
No, no, no.
Is that what
I'd
you?
do it from my computer like I did with.
Oh,
Remember when you were originally
oh
thinking
yeah,
in
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and I was
I'm just
using
how. I
wecam to grab your face and your
was just wondering how
movements.
you. I was just wondering how you separate her
Getting
audio.
some funny flicker tonight. Bloody ABCs in my computer. Get the hell out of my computer, ABCs.
Absolute batshit counts.
Hmm.
ABCs.
Probably cranky at me doing that COVID video the other day. Just checking in on me, making sure I'm still.
Yeah, I mean, people didn't believe in long COVID. People didn't believe it was a neurological
Didn't believe
disease.
any of that
I don't know.
shit.
I don't
Yeah.
know, right? Hmm. Actually, it wasn't. Weirdly, I find what I find most exciting about COVID is
Ep
it's
12.
actually
Wow. Got one more to go
what?
for the end of season 2.
Yes. Well, we've maintained consistently. We've been experimental in VR. We haven't. I'm charging up my headset. My headset's charged. Actually, I should just make sure my handsets are got enough battery. If we're happy. I should be brave. Like I actually haven't been brave. Like I've always gone in with muted thing, and it may be like some settings. So maybe go into like a VR space with like I don't know how I'd respond to someone trying to stick
What
their.
was it? Entertainment, wasn't it? It's-
I move it around. I move them between entertainment, people, and blogs.
hmm.
Yeah, mainly those two actually. Some when I'm doing the highlights, I put them in more things.
Okay. Ghost shit.
Kale's a total tripper, man. Like super cool.
Hmm.
Like she would easily.
Get into the conversation.
Oh yeah, 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 no, she's a very cool tripper.
All right, and we are going on now.
All right, we're gonna get the link.
Give me a second. It's just setting up.
YouTube. YouTube.
Shh.
Arian Sinshu.
Control
Live.
keys good. All right, we are up.
Oh yep. Uh-huh.
Excellent
That,
connection. Good.
that.
All right. Anyone who's watching and wondering what the background is tonight, it is our petrified Viking turd, available now, $36,000. Authenticity, somewhat unknown, as we discussed Si earlier. How do you know that was actually a Viking turd? Did someone take a DNA
Just
sample and then take a DNA sample against someone of Viking blood and then compare them, DNA mappings, and go, well, this is genuinely a turd that would have come out of a Viking's ass?
I am. I don't know. I mean, when I look at that, I mean, I think of things like the handle of the walking cane.
Mm,
I think of a few different things. I don't think
mm,
necessarily immediately of a poo. I mean, I
mm.
guess
Could have just been a piece of wood, bit of driftwood.
I
Which,
guess is the flattened end on the one that's behind yourself, is that maybe like, do you think,
looks a bit knobbish. Who says
was
it's
that the
not?
flat, like,
Who
is that
says
where he
it's
was,
not a
was sitting there?
disembodied knob, disembodied penis?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking just you know, early anal plug, perhaps.
Mm, maybe. Viking anal plug
That's right.
during the
You know,
dysentery
it's good
time,
for chastity.
dysentery times.
I don't know. It's more like for chastity reasons.
Oh, prevention.
Prevention.
Prevention's better
That's
than
it.
the cure.
The cure. That's right. In this case, it's just you get off way better. Yeah, the
Yeah,
prevention is much better
prevention is
than the
much better
cure.
than the cure.
Hmm.
Talk to your doctor about Viking anal plugs today.
um, what I was wondering was if we were going
Mm,
to have a third, like three of us, so
yes.
another guest
Mm.
come in, is then how would you separate the audio? Like you could grab their picture like we do, but like we do with Kenny in that way out of the Zoom call.
Ah,
But
the audio split. Yeah. Um, if they're
that's
coming
why I
in
was
on
asking you.
Zoom, I would also have to change to the two-user Zoom, like we do when we do the Zoom,
Yeah, that'd
when we
be
were doing the Zoom news.
yeah, it would be a much of a config.
Yeah.
Oh, you do have that config actually, don't you?
Mm. Still
But
set up.
um, but yeah, the one thing is just splitting the audio
Mm.
so
Don't
that
know whether I could do that on my end because it'd just
mm,
all come in on the stereo end.
I think that I think you'd have to have we'd have to pay for that fucking software.
Yeah, the splitter software. We'd actually have
Proper
to
software.
fork some money out
We're gonna have yeah.
rather than doing it on the cheap like we like.
Well, yeah, as cheap as we can. That's not bad. That's I
Yes, oh, YouTube's been a bit active with fervor. Apparently, Destiny, one of the high-rated YouTubers, split from his missus.
what
The manosphere's having a meltdown over it.
what did the I don't know any who what I don't know
Well, I
what's
thought
going on.
Destiny was just some game that I used to play in back in the day.
So someone's decided not to play Destiny anymore,
Mm,
and the internet's freaked out about that
yeah, yeah, they're having a major meltdown over the
over that he doesn't want
Destiny's
to.
troubles.
Oh, is it like the follow-on band from Destiny's Child, perhaps?
Well, don't know. He's an influencer and apparently imported a wife, and once she got her green card, she decided to go her separate way.
Did she pay? Did he buy her, or did she
I've not.
pay?
I don't know whether he bought her from another country. I mean, I was thinking about flying over to Japan and getting one of my own homeless girls, off the streets, helping a
Oh,
poor homeless person, get him off the streets, bring him back to Australia.
what a Japanese girl,
Yeah,
homeless.
homeless.
Is there many homeless people in Japan? I wouldn't thought
Apparently
that would be
there
a big.
is. Apparently homelessness is not just localized to any one city. There is quite a bit of homeless that happens across the globe.
Oh, for sure.
Hmm. It's
I
not.
mean,
It's not.
it's actually a thing. Like, it's surprising. Like in Korean manga, um, it's quite a theme.
Yeah. Yeah. Helping the
You know,
homeless.
get, no, just teenage homeless kids, homeless, just the homelessness, and
Hmm.
like whole stories about it, and like their little like family stories, and how they, help each other survive, and troubles they go through, and like being like real troubles, like being
Yeah.
kidnapped and shit, and
Yeah.
forced to
Yeah.
do things, and made, like the young kid who's got a bit of potential gets nabbed by a gangster in a nice way, and
Mm-hmm.
trained to be like just
Aimed to
the
be a,
ultra
super
yeah.
super criminal, trained
That's
assassin.
right.
Too.
Trained assassin. Yeah.
Assassin kids,
Mm.
child assassin.
Have you got a bit of more of a tan this summer?
Me, my character.
Hmm.
No, no.
That's it.
It's always been
Maybe
pretty
it's
brown. I mean,
maybe the
I'm
poo
doing the
really
whole
brings it
olive
out.
boy thing. I mean, I'm not as olive as my character, but
Not as about as olive as Jesus.
just a little bit less olive than Jesus.
That's a little less. That's yeah.
Don't quite have that. You know the what is it? Where was he from? Galilean.
Oh,
Don't have that Galilean kind of, you know,
swarthy. No,
suave
I don't know what.
complexion.
Ah, yeah.
But you
You're
know,
doing all right.
it's all right. I would be this tanned if I just walked around naked all day long. I would get this tanned.
Hell yes.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
The wholesomeness, the healing.
Mm.
Mm, be interesting. So this is
Getting
my
the sun on all the
uh,
parts.
so I've done a few little. I don't know if they're visible. Probably not. But I've done some. Gave myself
You've
some
got
nail polish.
nails.
I've got nails.
You got nails now. So you have been
They're
playing around with the customizing tools. How did you end up applying it to the character? Was it jewelry? Like arm
No,
accessories?
the nails, the nails are in the skin map. The nails are their own thing.
Ah, excellent. Very cool.
So you
No,
could do
my.
quite detailed stuff there. You could do nail art and anything you want, I
Mm,
suppose.
mm.
But
Well, I was thinking this afternoon of putting the child 1, child 2 on the forearm, but
mm,
I'll do that later. I'll add that later. Child
I
plus,
like the
child minus.
it was a bit obvious, but I did like the little multi-cell panel comic of the livestock not suitable.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I thought that was quite
Yeah, look, the
poignant,
Ascension
you
does.
know, poignant.
Yeah, Ascension does sound a lot like, mass alien abduction, to be honest, for feeding.
Mm, mm. Purely for connoisseur purposes.
Mm, mm,
Mm.
mm.
You know, you don't spend your whole life trying, you don't want to ruin a crop, but obviously some of that crop, is you know, triple A grade meat.
Yeah,
You
and they
definitely
leave the
you definitely
rest
don't want the C grade meat. You want the A and the B
so
grade meat.
with this livestock that you leave on the planet. Let's say you
Well, you take a
you're
certain amount. It's like harvesting. You don't kill all the animals you've got when you've got your animal
yeah,
in
but it's
old
but what?
McDonald's farm.
No. That's what I'm saying.
You
So
got to keep some
you've got
breeding stock there.
that, yeah, and you leave the breeding stock on the
Leave the
planet.
breeding
So
stock behind.
do you give them 5,000? Like, so maybe do you do some kind of wipe on them and then, or do you just leave them there and come because they'd breed up enough in another 5, 6,000 years, but you don't
Yeah.
want them remember. You want them like
No, you don't want
preparing
them
for it.
traumatized by the last harvest.
No.
You definitely do it every couple of thousand years, so that
Hmm.
they only have memories of the harvest rather than the
Memory.
memories.
So would this mean this is our first harvest?
Well, depending on how long the human race has existed, then there could have been several harvests. May not just be
Yeah,
the
but
one. Could have been several
we don't
harvests going.
we don't really have stories of that. We have a unless maybe harvests happen every. I don't think I think 100,000 years is a bit not economical though. I think you'd want to
Well,
have a
think
harvest
of the
every five
monkey.
to ten.
The story of the monkey and the heavenly hosts. What have they had?
Oh,
5,000-year-old peaches, and then they had 10,000-year-old peaches. If it wasn't for that damn monkey in the garden, still be peaches left.
it would be
Hmm.
the immortals.
Immortals.
Their special elixirs,
Damn that monkey. All the
nano,
peaches. Hmm.
nano elixirs, continually rebuilding them.
Well, and there was also the whole thing of the Emperor's Cup, spilling, landing on top of Genghis Khan, and then Genghis Khan
Ah,
good thing that he only just consumed a little bit of that green liquid from the Emperor's Cup. Otherwise, he probably would have outlived all of us.
Well, you know what? Like I read this book actually. Do you remember me reading the book? I would suppose we were living in the same place. Uh, and there was two books I read. One was like a book around about the transition. Like I was, oh, remember there was like a book around Confucius
Mm,
and the birth, like the Kong mansion. So there's one about that, and the other one was about Mongol Empire. That was incredible, man. Like they totally dominated, eh? Like
mm.
the Taj Mahal is one of the great grandsons or whatever that built that,
Of Genghis,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Like it's
mm,
one of the that's their influence down that way. Like they went and they did a whole they were in China too. They took China, but not all of China, but you know,
mm.
they took some China
Some of it,
and
yeah.
but they just became Chinese. Like over time they just got
Converted.
consumed, yeah.
Mm, mm. One race,
Subsumed.
absorbing the other.
But yeah, I mean, like it's amazing the legacy of their reign. Would have been interesting to be in that space at the height of their.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
uh,
Probably not best to be one of the warriors, but I don't know. Maybe it might have been good to be a warrior. You
look,
would have
I
definitely
mean,
got the warrior's perks, wouldn't you? The pick of the spoils and
yeah, I think that
tent full of
they
concubines.
did value technicians. So he did protect technologists, like
Mm.
if you were a maker of things, and he was curious
Maker of the
about
black
religion
powder.
believers, like things
Mm.
that people who were religious sort of things. So he'd keep a few of each of those around so that they could debate and tell their stories, you know.
Mm.
And he'd consider all of these different religions and faiths that were presented. So he was sort of tolerant of that in a sense. I mean, he killed everyone who believed in it, but he didn't kill it off. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Had to have the
mm,
remnants of the, whatever
the culture,
the
the belief
culture
was.
was there.
Mm.
A true leader of men doesn't destroy the culture. He merely encapsulates it.
A bauble.
A bauble, a tiny bauble on your Christmas tree.
Oh,
Oh,
polishing it with this spit.
that's it. Get that on there.
Yeah. Oh, gift.
Hmm.
I spat on them this year. Oh,
Hmm.
so
I feel
generous, my liege.
privileged. The Lord spat on me this year. Oh, I'm not going
Mm.
to wash that area for another 6 months, just so the spit can fully be absorbed into me, become one with the leader.
Mm. That's the way. In the hope that like if you get DNA tested, you just have a little bit.
Mm, mm. Just enough to be qualified.
One, yeah, 256. You know,
I don't know what's gotten into Bear tonight, but he is in crazy mood. He's trying to stalk me and fight me a minute ago.
he's been a bit sprightly. He's
Mm.
getting
And
sprightlier.
it's
He
always
wants to.
around the time that we have the discussions, like even last night when I was doing that,
Mm,
Orion's learnings. He come in right as I was doing it, of course, to disturb and annoy
mm,
while trying to do something. Always seems to be the way, isn't it? Sit down to spend some time doing whatever there is your project, and then
mm.
either the children or the animals or the other adults in your life decide to disturb you. I mean, they probably don't know, they don't realize, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, still creating the disturbance to annoy while trying to do your presentation.
They want to be a part of it.
They do
They're
want to
like
be a part of it. And I
People don't
get
have a
that.
headset on too. They're like,
I get
what
that.
are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Pay attention
There's
to me.
something there's something you can see. I can't see.
Pay attention to me, not to the screen. Come on. Come on. I'm more important to that
But do
screen.
they do that when you're playing a game?
Oh, always. Like
Oh,
when
I
I'm
see.
in mech warring, doing my battles,
The
he's always
same.
trying to sit on my lap during the battle.
Oh, be mascot.
Mascot. Battle mascot.
Excellent.
Gotta have your battle
War
mascots.
That's it, warrior cat. Yeah.
Mm, Came from a long line of warrior cats. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else in crazy newsworthy this week.
In the story of the M.
Mm, mm. The
Well, I did an
continuing saga.
experiment.
Mm.
I did an experiment I've been wanting to do for a while, where I was attempted to sort of record a scene that I was writing about, which I didn't quite achieve specifically that, because the scene was quite small. I didn't really know how to make the scene be that small and
Yeah,
focused in, and it'd be something I wouldn't, I'd be invisible. Um, or something weird. But anyhow, yeah, it was cool. It was a bit of a. I haven't edited that up yet, and I thought that the assume news stuff was good too. I think that that stuff this week was good. I haven't got that completed yet.
just doing
I
the
just fucking
standard
focused.
um just having the avatar speak. I was looking at a bot system to actually do the harvesting of the data.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's a bot that you can get, just can set up, and what it does is you open up a page, and then you run the bot. You then select all the things that it's supposed to grab and the areas where it grabs from,
I
and then it automatically then pulls that data, creates a text file, and then exports a text file, which then I could then throw into a voice system and just get the avatar to read it out after it's been harvested. So pretty much like we were talking about, setting it up as to be fully automated. So it just automatically does it and then uploads the videos. Ideally, that's where we'd want to get to with the assumed news, is basically having the character, just boot itself up once a week, load the bot, harvest the news stories, and then just read them out. Then, obviously in the style, adding the style and the context. It's an 150 word summary.
Oh, 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 what was that? Did you see that?
What? Getting some flickering through my screen at the
No,
moment.
There was a thing over there.
Something popped up.
Yeah,
Special.
like a,
Jeremy the AI is trying to
it was
invade
a
our
hand.
stream.
No, there was a hand just here, like a
Disembodied hand. Jeremy waving. AI
I
waving.
there was like
It'll be in the playback. Don't worry.
I
I
don't-
missed. I didn't even see it. But I'm getting these weird flickerings going on my screens. All three of my screens are doing this weird flickering.
what did that mean?
Hmm. Special hands from the other side coming through.
Dear me. Wow. I don't know. Look, it's been I have managed to make it through an entire year. Like when I left you in the beginning of this year
Hmm.
and I went back to Sydney, I had like, I don't know, it was less than $10 to my name. And I went from that to like just getting that pizza delivery thing,
Yeah,
cashy,
yeah.
which is not the bestest of deals, not the worst.
Well, it was job. It was
Mhm,
gerb, wasn't it?
mhm, mhm, mhm. It was something like that. It was an amount of money that meant it wasn't completely impossible. And then just slowly building up from that, like, I don't know. I just paid to get my tires put on the car on Tuesday
Mm. You
before they
replaced all
eventually.
four?
No, I'm doing two, but it's exactly the same tread.
Mm.
And I'll do two in another fortnight or something like that. I think
Rotate.
it's just. Oh well, the other two are really good. They've heaps. They've got months
Oh,
left in them,
plenty
to
of
be
meat
honest.
left on them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't. No, like the front ones are fucking.
Well, that's the beauty of having a company car. I just take it to the fucking, you know, tire place and go, give me four. Check the spare. The
How
perks
often
of
do you?
having the company vehicle.
How often do you, the company, do you go there and do that to them?
Well, when the gets down to that little indicator saying that you've reached the level of
Oh, yeah.
safetiness.
Oh, so you do drive them down to that level anyway?
Hmm. Well, you get
Yeah,
the
cool.
max
Yeah.
out of your tires. You're not going to
Well, that's
change
what
them
I've
every
done.
year or whatever. You change them when the tire requires changing.
Yeah, the thing that happened here is they've never been rotated, so the front
Ah,
tires
you
have
got
just been the
wear
whole.
and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they've just taken the whole brunt,
Hmm.
all of the kilometers. Poor things.
Well, just one handprint on the road at a time.
Mm. Well,
The
they'll be
equivalent of got four hands holding you to the road.
slap them down as fast as they can. They're interesting, those sort of more mechanical tires ones, which they have. Oh wow, that's interesting.
Your had your arm behind your back.
It's just interesting seeing how the avatar interprets information.
Yeah. Did you like my cheap shirt? I made a Talk is Cheap t-shirt.
You did.
Yeah.
I've seen. I what is this? One of the few T-shirts I've missed, but uh, let me have a look.
I thought it was cool because it had the birds, cheapy birds on there. Seemed to point out. Pretty sure I did send you the cheap t-shirt. You have to scroll back through our chat. Yeah. Talk is Cheap t-shirt.
That's yeah, that's
Got
funny.
me doing the thumbs up.
Oh yeah,
What'd you think of the put yourself in place of the vegan? Put yourself in their place. Go vegan this Thanksgiving. It's like they're offering themselves. Please don't eat the animals. Just eat us instead.
ah,
That's what I took from it. It's like, oh yeah,
you
I'll
really,
have a
yeah,
slice of
okay.
that. I'll have a slice of that grain-fed vegan you got going on there.
Grain fed. Yeah, we could have like bean fed, or what would you prefer? Like, do you think a legume fed or grain fed
I
would
don't
be
know,
better?
tofu-fed vegans would be pretty
Oh, vegan vegans,
mm.
just like real
Only militant
so
vegans
well.
though,
That's tofu is a
because if you
legume vegan, I suppose.
yeah, if you're just a normal vegan, then that's fine. You just go about
That's,
your thing and do whatever vegans do. Be healthy
this
and
is the
stuff.
third
I
episode that
know
we
where
have
we've
like
talked about the
No, no, where you've talked about
I've
it.
I brought up the subject of
Not that
the.
I've talked about it.
No,
It's
no,
like
it's me.
I don't. Yes,
It's all me. Don't worry.
it's been very clear.
No, it's just when I see angry vegans, militant vegans,
Do you
having a
see
go.
that many?
Well, there's been quite a few on the YouTube, just
I don't see any ever.
having a go at the meat eaters. And I'm just like, man, go eat a salad.
So,
Just shut up and
so
go
let
eat
me
a
just.
salad.
So you're looking for videos of angry
No, no,
vegans.
it comes up. Like
You
the
are. Don't
people I
fucking.
follow and I'm subscribed to have been talking about it. So I guess the on-flow effect is that I
No,
will
don't.
talk about it. But yeah,
Don't. I
I
don't.
don't want to make them angry. I mean, you choose whatever food you want to eat. It's fine.
Do you think they're that angry?
Some of them really are. But then again,
But
some of the carnivore people, they really
sounds like.
rub it in their face. So I
But
can
you're talking
understand
about.
why they would be angry.
But what you're saying is that these people are saying, these angry people are saying they should eat. So kill and eat vegans. That's pretty aggressive.
Mm, that is quite an
Sure.
aggressive
I mean, these
way of
aggressive
thinking. It isn't it?
vegans, and there's these aggressive, they both just sound like,
Mm, just angry.
yeah, they're both just,
Maybe they just need to do a big poo and be happy.
I
A
think
big
what the,
do a
well,
giant Viking poo and then just be happy.
or just realize that they're both, what they've got both in common is that they're fucking angry.
Mm, mm. And they
I mean,
eat stuff. They do have that in common. They do eat things because we
yeah,
all
that's it.
need to eat,
That's
right?
right.
Mm.
And just like, geez, what the
The
hell?
survival is dependent on consumption of some sort of product to fuel the
Well,
meat
the
sack.
flow,
Mm,
the flow of life is ever forward, and as the body of life, the parts of it sort of like, the leaf that isn't as useful or whatever, it's just sort of discarded, but it goes into the sort of the behind part of life and creates, it becomes like composted and becomes fuel.
mm,
And this is like, which just then propels life forward evermore. Like, so, like even the consumption of, to the thing where you then die, but then like life like comes out of you in a whole thousand different ways as organisms like go forward
mm,
and they continue like, like it's just yeah, because being, helping energy keep flowing is okay. We shouldn't, I think it's sad that we get like really hung up on
food
being,
choices.
well, we're just being part of the flow of energy. Should it stop with you? Like, no, no, the energy will stop here. I will not let it go forwards. I will let it not travel through me. Okay. Well, that's the whole purpose of life.
Mm.
Just,
Happy being the being
mm.
and doing the doing.
But ultimately, surely it's about. I think all of those things. The one that suits, the only one that makes sense to me, is something called like macrobiotic.
Mm.
And what that means is, from what I understand, is
Got to
that
feed
you
them
eat.
bacteria.
No, 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 not micro. No, no, not that kind of thing. That you eat what grows where you live.
Locally sourced foods rather than this whole
And
importing it
season.
from one side of the
Mm,
world to the other.
yeah, yeah,
I guess people are just
yeah.
greedy. They want their asparagus when it's not asparagus season. So I guess that's the reason why they import it.
Infinite asparagus. The asparagus continuum. It's like this little factory. I wonder how big you would need to make the um the conveyor belt. Like say, imagine a little high speed pipe, yeah,
Mm.
like a
Micro
vacuum tube,
conveyor belt
like a micro conveyor belt. It's like a vacuum tube. It's like a mini hyperloop, whatever modern name you want to give it.
delivering
Almost
your
has it.
daily vegetables.
And so, how many? like, let's say asparagus comes from South America.
Mm.
How and the consumption rate in Australia, how big would that pipe need to be? Just basically have continuous supply of fresh asparagus.
Someone
Just
feeding the asparagus in one end and it coming out the other end,
yeah,
out of
basically.
the tube,
Yeah, yeah.
just
And like,
fulfill the asparagus requirements.
hmm,
Well, I
like
don't
you
know.
know
I
what?
mean, I only eat asparagus irregularly, so
Let's see.
it's not a constant thing of my diet. But I mean, someone who is purely vegetarian, then I imagine all those
Well, let's say
delicious little plants would be on the menu.
there's 25, 27 million people in Australia, but there's always tourists and everything.
Yeah,
Do you reckon like saying that there'd be like, I don't know, 30 million people in Australia at any one time
yeah,
seems reasonable?
reasonable. Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean, out of them, how many like asparagus? Like a quarter? I mean, how many people
have
do
to
you
sit down
find
and do
just,
the numbers, wouldn't you? I
what
mean,
do you think?
well, I mean, I like it, but there'd
I
be
like it. That's
that's
100%.
100%
I
right
don't
here
think it's
between us two.
I don't think it's quite 100%. I think
Mm.
it's more.
I think you'd need a wider um
Hmm,
a wider poll than
let's just say it's
just the two of
50%.
us.
Let's say it's 50%.
Mm.
Biddy.
Did he? You reckon? Not
Biddy?
like
Well,
30%? Because
30?
there's a lot of people don't have that. Like their
Yeah,
taste bud
I'm
range
over.
isn't
I'm over.
expansive. They like their the bangers and mash and the gravy
I-
and that sort of stuff, but they're not really.
I'm overestimating the
Mm,
actual connoisseur quality. Yeah, third.
I'd
So
say about a
10
third.
million.
Yeah,
10 million. 10
about
million.
10 million.
And do you think out of those 10 million that have a bunch of wheat or
Well, depending on the price of it. Canned asparagus is pretty cheap, but fresh asparagus, if you're going to go fresh, I
yeah,
can.
if you get it for $1.80 or something, I'll
Yeah,
buy it.
yeah.
I'm just gonna go downstairs. The smell emanating from this house right now.
Mm,
Either the kitchen is on fire and someone's managing it, or
mm.
it's on fire and someone's not managing it.
Control burn going on inside the house.
Yeah.
No, definitely check on that, bro. Definitely go and
Oh,
have a look.
I think oh no, it's dealt with. There is a skilled person. It was I'm just an end point for the smell of it. I return. Um,
No, the good thing about the magic keynote character
uh,
is I can just wander off and wander through my house
10
without it.
million. I reckon out of the 10 million, then you'd have like a bell curve of like people who really like it, to just, and in the middle, I think the middle would be a bunch a week. That's probably a bit much. I'd say maybe a bunch a fortnight. What do you think? I think more a bunch a fortnight, like the
Yeah,
average
yeah.
broccoli,
You probably have it
sorry,
with, a couple of
asparagus,
meals.
couple of meals.
Yeah. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
an everyday thing.
No, no. So, hmm, okay,
Definitely wouldn't be an everyday thing.
no. So that's like 10 million. Which one is up to 10 million? Maybe would you really need? Wow, it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Mm,
So out of the 10 million, if they're eating on average like one every 2 weeks,
yeah.
that's 5 million a week.
Asparagus.
Yeah, which is it's not a million a day, but
Mm.
it's maybe like 700,000 a day.
Yeah, I could see that.
Seems like a lot of bunches, eh?
Mm.
But I mean, Australia is big. So it's the 700,000 bunches a day. So 3.5. So 3.5 every 12 hours. Would be 350,000 every 12 hours.
Sprigs of asparagus.
Mm. So 350,000 by 12 hours. Just make it by 10. So it's
Apparently, asparagus.
35,000 an hour.
Mm,
So you'd have to have a conveyor belt that ship 35,000 an hour. Oh.
it's it's not unachievable.
No, like let's see.
And the
Yeah, but
benefits of asparagus, eating asparagus, taking out that stink from the pea,
oh, it's the neutralizer.
neutralizing. Yeah, that's it. Getting was it diluting the urea? Talk about diluting the urea. Man, I was watching some of the reaction videos to the Grand Theft Auto 6 coming up. Everyone going crazy
Oh,
over the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, which was released.
it's interesting. Hey,
Coming
like on
soon,
this,
2025.
like Final Fantasy, and is one of them. Grand Theft Auto is another one.
Mm.
They're these like continuous adventure franchises.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a Madden or a Forza or whatever. Gran Turismo,
Mm.
Mario. But
Well, apparently the primary character in GTA 6 he's got a girlfriend now. So it's a team effort.
well, she's got a boyfriend.
Well, she's got a boyfriend, he's got a girlfriend.
Can they?
However, you'd like to
Oh,
look at it. Yeah.
can they? Can they
Not quite
be?
sure on the
Can they
reasoning
be
behind it,
anything?
but there was tweaking. There was lots of tweaking going on. Lots of butt shaking, rump shaking. That was a
That
highlight,
essential.
quite a few highlights within the trailer itself was a lot of the
So they're gonna
shaking
have
of the
like.
butt.
So they're saying there's going to be multiplayer soft porn
Mm,
in GTA 6,
that's it.
is what you're saying,
Mm.
and the audience was
Bros and
like,
hoes, bud. Bros and hoes.
I mean, the the the, the way you say that just
I
makes it.
know it's terrible, isn't it? I mean,
No. It's
but
just
it's
like,
just
um,
it's
is that
indicative
how
of the current climate and the current
so does the person who plays the female character in GTA 6 have to role play as a hoe, like in a
no. She's a
subcharacter?
bank robber and
Okay.
a robbery specialist, not just banks, service stations. And they had all the Florida man stuff going on. The whole dude fishing the alligator out of the swimming pool and the alligator coming into the convenience store and
The alligator is it's become quite a popular trope, eh?
mm, mm.
I'm
It
gonna
really makes me when I saw the alligator, it sort of gave me that reflection to the Loki TV series where the alligator Loki.
I don't know. I haven't seen
You haven't
any.
seen it, okay? Yeah.
Uh,
Well, he definitely bit off the hand that feeds him, so
I'm going off the screen to get myself some water,
yep,
but I will have.
liquidage.
Oh, uh,
It's just me.
that's
All
it.
good, good.
Oh,
Yes, it
oh,
was quite amazing seeing the amount of people like losing their mind over the up and coming release of that Grand Theft Auto 6, and then just totally like total disappointment at the end when it dropped the whole
oh,
coming out in 2025. Like 2 years time,
Oh wow, that looks
I'll be
amazing.
33 fucking years old in 2 years time. You
That's
know what I mean?
scary.
Like, I could have had 2
I
kids
can't
before
eat
this
it.
game comes out.
Huh?
I
The
could have
dairy? No dairy. Oh really? Oh.
household conversation.
Oh.
But yes, it was quite amusing watching people losing their minds over
No
the
buttermilk and things. Yeah.
release date.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what's
Can I
new?
eat this then?
You know, give you a fantastic
Oh
trailer and
wow.
then
Wow.
tell you got to
Oh
wait
my
2
God.
years for it.
I'm literally eating a like a chicken nugget. It's like it just makes you think this is what a KFC chicken nugget would be in like in the 1950s.
Oh, it's
This is amazing.
Parmageddon size, is it?
This is American now. This is amazing.
Chicken Parmageddon size.
Double coating.
Parmageddon chips and gravy.
Mm. Mm.
Si sounds happy. Chickeny goodness.
Oh,
It wasn't one of them special chickens, was it?
oh. Um, so I got to get used to saying a character's name. Well, your name, Mr. Mr. Copious. Opius.
Copious Maximus.
Copious. You're live.
That's it. You're live on the internets at the moment. Yeah, who cares? No one's listening. We got no actual viewers at the moment, so it's all good.
No, there's no
Yeah,
viewers yet.
no viewers yet. We don't have a stream of YouTube commenters going on.
Oh, that was fantastic. No, that's
There you
amazing.
go.
It's amazing.
Mm. We put the sin in,
I
so
mean, I
you
would
get
love
the
more, but it's just
satisfaction back out.
it feels so rich.
Mm. I mean, that's why Jesus made bacon extra salty, right?
Oh,
It's just not salty enough unless it's got enough demons in it. I'd like to thank our sponsor, or my sponsor, Summersby Apple Ciders again. They've been sponsoring my last couple of videos. Not officially, but just sponsoring me. Process of inebriation. What's up, little one? You want to go out? Come on. Come on. You want to go back out. Go on, Mr. Bear. Go back out. You want to go back out, demon cat? Come on. My little demon. You want to come back out? I've lost Si. It's a solo stream tonight. Si will be back. He's just probably walked out of the range of his headphones, so let me blither on a little bit about the things, the internet things. Happy with my in-world creations I've been making lately, building some more characters. I've got to do some Gobo character design. I've already got the puppet. Just need to create the personality behind the puppet. So I might build a couple more in-world characters. My Gobo army. Meow. What? You want to go out? Hmm? Need Dad's assistance. Come on. You want to go out? I know. Looking through the window. Go back out and play. It's cooler outside. Come on. Go catch me a rat. Big fat one. Ah, send my little cat out to hunt me down a nice little rat beef burger for later.
Ah,
Tasty little rat beef burger.
mm.
Mm.
Rat and beef together at last.
Mm. The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't need much rat to like just
Make a burger.
season. Yeah, to just offset the beef, you know,
Mm. Just give it that, that
10, 20%.
the
I mean,
bubonic. You could put a bit of bubonic into it. You know?
how much,
Extra flavorings.
how much, how much rat meat is the allowed limit in um,
What
processed?
falling into the machine while they're
You know, there would be,
building mince.
there'd be an
Well, I mean,
acceptable limit.
cockroaches go in there,
That's right. That's right.
flies, spiders, you name it. Most of the
I mean, it wouldn't be
ground beef
10%.
that you eat, it's always had something fall in the machine. Human finger.
Yeah,
Get a bit of cannibalism going on.
the machine requires
Unbeknownst
oh
cannibalism,
no.
of course, You probably wouldn't eat it if you knew there was human finger in there.
No, you don't really get much anyway. It's actually it's a sacrificial requirement, annual sacrifice to the machine.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
you got one of the
The
workers gets
severing
fed
of
to
the
it
limbs.
basically. Like it's chosen. The machine just
You
chooses
have
it
been
at random.
chosen to
Mm.
feed the machine blood.
That's right. You get sacrificed. When humans, that was the most fantastic fried chicken. I would eat a whole bowl of it.
Yeah.
But I already had dinner tonight, so I haven't. I've had a very restful day. My
Mm.
body was like so exhausted.
We had chicken kebabs, roast potatoes, and veggies tonight. So
Yeah, I did sort of like
Bungle did the vegetables and I did the meat.
uh, Mr. Opus. Mr. Yes.
Bungle even braved the heat today and did the mowing.
Ah, was it
Mm.
hot?
It was a bit warm, not mega hot like the last few days, but with that
Is it?
cyclone hanging off the
Oh yeah. So there's a
coast,
cyclone. How's that going?
it's doing the big vacuum cleaner effect across the country and sucking all that hot air across from Western Australia and NT. Get it a bit summerish. That's what summer's all about, isn't it? Sweltering,
Yeah, but then
sweating your ass off. It
is
just
there
ain't
is there
Christmas in Australia unless you're sweating your ass off.
so as that happens and it pulls that over and creates a high, then behind it there's a hole. So does is there a cyclone forming over in the west in the next week or two?
Well, I guess once it sucks enough air across to this side of the country, then there'll be
Mm,
a vacuum where the air was, and it'll
that's
probably
it.
suck its way back across again.
And pull it
I was
over.
hoping for some red dust, It's just not really a proper storm until you get the red dust coming across with the wind. Whip up a bit of the red
Wow,
iron filings and distribute
that,
them.
that's sad.
But that's just the way the world works, Earth Chan, I never question Earth Chan. She just throws shit where she wants it. Wherever it's necessary, Earth Chan moves it around. But I've been watching on the Plex, catching up with Overlord, which is really good. Seen it?
Overlord.
Yeah.
Oh, with Iron, is that Irons,
Yep. Yep.
the skeleton
Skeleton
dude?
dude. Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking the best,
That's
man.
excellent, isn't it?
The best.
I love how he rewrote the program of his
Oh, it's,
friend's main
yeah.
character, and it's like so she falls in love with him. She's like constantly trying to mate with him, pretending to be the waifu.
Oh,
That part that I just watched that the other day was when she was sitting. She hadn't left his bedroom all day. All the other guardians were worried about her, and she was just in there practicing of how to be a good waifu.
uh, yeah. I don't know. I think it's quite bizarre. It's very it's some of it's quite brutal.
And lots of magic. Like I just finished watching the episode where he had to kill the vampire guardian because she got taken over by some world item,
Oh, okay.
and then he had to resurrect her, and it cost him like 3 billion gold or something. He had to absorb 3 billion gold in the spell to bring her back to life again. But yeah, a lot of
It's
spell casting. And then when he
it's,
does his, change into the fighter form, the two
ah
big kick-ass swords just
oh true. If they like
slicing
so
stuff in
yeah.
half and
He's always wears a helmet, doesn't he?
to hide his face, and he puts the projection on when he takes the helmet on, just look like a normal face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, that's been really good. I've been enjoying that.
oh,
Part of my catch up on the anime stream. And man, there's so much to watch.
oh yeah.
That's the best thing about it is it's just
I'm just so waiting for you to say when you start watching Gintama. That's like
yeah, I've got to catch up on that myself. But yeah,
it's 180 episodes
I know,
already. There's a
I know,
lot to
I'll get
watch.
through
That
it.
one worthy.
Still got what another 100 years ahead of me to watch it all. So
That's it.
mm, at 150, 200, something like that. It was funny. One of my friends up here in Brizzy was like, "Oh, we're out having a drink and talking about mortality and things like that," and he's like, "Oh," said to one of his friends that was with us at the time, "Oh, don't worry about Craig. Don't worry about Orion. He'll you know, he'll just keep smoking till he dies." I went, "Yeah, I'm probably going to outlive you, dude." Who's the person who's had 2 heart attacks already, and they're only what in their
Wow.
late 30s, almost early 40s. So
What?
don't worry about me. I ain't had no heart attacks yet.
2 heart attacks
Mm,
in their 40s.
yeah, smoking, and he's still smoking, and I'm doing my
Oh,
best, man. I'm just like vaping, vape. I'm done with the smoke.
yeah, man.
Onto the vapes, the vaporings.
Yeah, it's worth being done.
The only thing now is the medicinal flowers.
Mm.
About the only smoke.
Oh. So this will be the last I'm going to get the flower, and from hence in January I'm going to go get the oil.
Mm.
Switch from
So do you have a pen to use with it?
they supply $25. So
Okay.
it's a standard one. It's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
It's just a
No,
pen type one.
you can get it pretty cheap. I mean, I
But the cartridges are not sort of yeah. I I think it remind. I'll have to see it like for
mm,
myself.
yeah.
But I suspect that But anyway, the cartridges are, yeah. Oh,
I'm just glad that we're growing up as a society, you know. I think that's an important thing that we get over the stigmas of the past. Um, Embrace these naturals.
well, yeah. I mean, the just this is not very American, of course, but just register everyone who does a thing.
Mm,
If it's a thing, if you think it's
yeah.
got any sort of thing, especially if it's new. Like if you're rolling something out, like maybe in like 100 years, it doesn't matter, or 50 years,
When we're hitting the
But 50,
stim packs, cracking that stim into the neck.
oh, that'll be in 5.
Mm,
Surely
mm,
3D
think
printer technology, I'd say.
3D printed, all this stuff that we've got, customizing,
I mean, that kind of stuff you can do, like that sort of atomizes it
customizing
and
to
then.
DNA.
Or what about like something that sort of has it has a two like a different a set of functions. The first function is it quickly reads the host's DNA and then lets through that synthesizes what the cellular situation would be, and then modifies its package, the delivery package,
Mm,
to suit that, with a tweak suitable for those particular families of functions,
mm.
and then prints and like out just starts to like live generate the virus infection that's going to load into you.
For the desired effect.
Yeah, so it just bypasses your personal. Oh, you're up to version 3. Yeah, little modifications.
Mm. Nano drugs.
But it sort of lands up factory, sort of like first of all, it's like the first a facility on you. That what actually lands on you is a facility that does an analysis of you, and then recodes, and then starts factory producing and controls the invasion.
Mm,
Little mini weapons platform.
mm. Plutonium has a very candy-like taste. It's sour, though overly so, and is equally sweet.
Plutonium is.
Mm, apparently. Someone asked what plutonium tastes like. It's the Google response.
Is it safe to eat any of it?
Well, I wouldn't advise it. As a non-doctor, I wouldn't advise eating plutonium.
But like if a little taste,
Hmm.
would
I'm
it
sure.
hurt
I'm
you?
sure
Like
it'll
would a little?
sample. You know.
I mean, how much is it? Would it hurt you that badly?
Don't know. Never been around. Quantities of plutonium.
Let's have a look. If I hurt, if I can I eat plutonium? It's gonna ask
There
Copilot.
must be easier ways to open a watermelon than using elastic bands.
Can I eat plutonium?
Oh, GTA 6 strippers will have jiggle physics.
That's
Something to look forward to in 2 years.
I didn't spell that very right. No, you cannot eat plutonium.
Advises against it.
There we go. Wow, it's got quite a lot to say. Hang on, it's spitting it out so fast. I haven't got time to just tell you what's going down. So, first paragraph is like you cannot, with emphasized, cannot, like actually bolded. Um, Cancers, leukemias, bone cancer. Some sources claim that plutonium is not very toxic when digested with food or drink because of its low absorption rate in the
Mm.
gastrointestinal tract. However, this is misleading and dangerous, as even a small amount of plutonium can have harmful consequences. Moreover, some forms of plutonium, such as plutonium nitrates, are more soluble and can be more easily absorbed by the body. Therefore, it is best to avoid any contact. It's very clear. Nuclear weapons
Nuclear weapons.
should not be eaten. Please do not attempt to eat plutonium or any radioactive material.
Mm. Mm. I would have thought that that would
It,
have been
it, it,
advised.
it, it even uses an emoji at the end, prayer emoji, just to really reinforce the point.
Mm.
That's the bit that took me. I was a bit skeptical, and then when I had the emoji at the end, I felt, yeah,
Yeah, you were definitely not going to eat it after that.
yeah, it was on my level at that point. I didn't feel like it was talking over me, you know.
Oh, that's cool. Apparently, there's anti-rape pants now. Essentially undergarments which come fitted with a prosthetic male genitals, which proudly bulge from between the woman's legs. It's hoped that by wearing them, potential rapists are fooled in thinking the wearer is a man or transgender, and thus reducing their inclinations and motivations to assault.
Well, that sounds like it may increase.
Well, it depends on what you're looking for, I guess, isn't it?
What to assault?
Mm. Decrease in assault.
Yeah, well,
Because if they're looking for a lady and looks like a man, then maybe they're that interested in him. It's good logic. I can see that. I definitely saw a woman walking down the street with a huge bulge in her pants, so would be less inclined to be perform a snuggle
so
struggle.
so it, this the sol- the solution for women to
Mm,
feel to be safe in public
mm.
places is for them to be men.
Yeah, apparently.
So if, so you end up in this situation where like out and about, everyone looks like a man.
Yeah, yep.
You just have no idea. Like it's
Mm,
just indistinguishable.
yeah, yeah.
But like everyone's
No, that would work. And you'd just be like, all these dudes just cruising around, high fiving and shit, slapping each other on the back. Love the size of your cucumber, dude. Slap.
so you'd still get sexually harassed. People would
Mm,
still be commenting on the size of your dick.
yeah, yeah. Your prosthetic penis.
What if you
Wow.
didn't have a prosthetic penis? Would you then just seem inferior? Is that what would happen?
Or maybe men would actually start purchasing the pants so that they could look more well
Oh,
endowed,
so
perhaps.
everyone
Mm,
would have
mm.
plastic penises.
Everyone would be wearing a prosthetic, you know. The boss would always have the biggest prosthetic, of course, because it to show dominance. The largest coming into work with his wheelbarrow just to hold it.
Special gourd, the
Mm,
gourd.
wheelbarrow just to hold it. Wheeling it into work. You'd definitely be able to distinguish the boss.
Yeah. Occasionally,
There would
like
be no confusion.
occasionally placing a document on it or whatever.
Mm,
Not for anyone to touch, just so that
no.
then when indirect, so that when he hands it on after he's finished reading, it's been on his,
Mm,
on his member.
bit of transference going on.
This does that. Oh, this thing I've got to sign. Just rest it
Mm.
there on it. Signs. Hands it over.
Oh, just out of a point of interest, 150 subscribers now on YouTube. So,
There you go.
slight increase in my people who are willing to view Orion's content.
Hmm.
I mean, it ain't no 24 million subscribers and big fat shekel check from from YouTube, but that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Getting that big fat check every month.
Mm.
But apparently, a lot of people are using YouTube as like the springboard. Like they come in and do a little bit of their content, you know, an hour or so's worth of streaming in the YouTube friendly manner, and
Mm.
then come across to my Rumble or my other video source to continue the conversation, but with less YouTube friendly language.
What's Rumble? Is it like a spin up of activity pub?
Yeah, and there's locals and quite a few. Twitch. Twitch is pretty good. They let you get away with a bit. They get a lot of naked women on Twitch showing their boobies and stuff. YouTube's not really booby friendly. Like you can sort of have your boobs out as long as they're not exposed. You know, you can do your I mean, who knows? So with our avatars, I could be just sitting in my room completely naked,
Mm.
or anybody else knows.
Mm, mm, mm.
I mean, that's the beauty of having the avatar is that you wear your casual clothes or wear nothing at all if you want. It's perfectly
You
fine.
can. You
No one's
can.
going to see it other than saying, "Oh, I'm sitting on my chair naked doing this YouTube program live." That would be the only way people would.
Mm. Trippy.
Hmm.
You know they said there's going to be a heat wave down here today.
Did you have a heat wave?
I thought I was going to put a jumper on at one point.
Oh, it got cold.
It was coolish, I thought. Coolish, not cold. It was just sort of like, yeah, well, I don't think it was hot at all. It wasn't anything. It was
It was sort of warm up here, but
uh,
not stifling like it has been during the week.
would you
Week
like to see what would happen if we had like a cyclone that lasted a whole year?
just non-stop cyclone. Just did the
Mm.
tour of Australia. Went around all the
Just settled
coastline.
in. Settled
Just
in.
just well,
Ah,
went around all the coastlines. Just did like a trace the Australian coastline. Just for a whole year, just wreaking havoc.
just in once around or like multiple times?
Well, if it was a year, how long would it take to travel if it was doing 200, 300 clicks an hour? Could probably circumnavigate in probably under a year. You probably get two circuits.
No, at 300 kilometers an hour, a car drives at 100 kilometers an hour.
Mm,
It'd be going 3 times faster than a car.
yeah,
So you'd get to like from Sydney to Brisbane in like instead of like 10 hours or 12 hours, you get
mm,
there in like 4 hours. And
that's
like
it. So you could probably circumnavigate Australia and
12 hours. It'd turn Australia into the eye.
yeah, yeah,
Wow. What if the whole of Australia then just became like this
super.
silent, like the eye of the storm,
Mm, and
and
around the
around it,
outside was just like
super
a
cell.
impenetrable wall of
Yes.
wind. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah.
ultimate deterrent. You wouldn't be able to fly there. You wouldn't be able to fly out. We'd have to become very self-reliant if
That's it.
eye of this giant cyclone. Australia was right in the middle of it for a whole year.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
So
Interesting to think about.
I see it. I subscribe.
It'd be an excellent defense mechanism against foreign invaders.
Wow. The wall of impenetrable.
Just whipping up absolute chaos outside, just churning. I wonder if it'd build up, like whether the water would build up. Sort of when a cyclone goes through, it sucks up water, obviously.
Hmm.
Sucks up moisture, sucks up water. I'd feel sorry for those who are on the outside.
On the edge.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just destroyed.
Because imagine if the eye of the cyclone was as big as Australia,
Mm,
how big would the rest of the cyclone be?
big.
Big.
Well, no, maybe not. That's just oh, I
Because you look at
see.
any normal cyclone, the eye is very small. It's only like a mile
Awesome.
across, or whatever amount across. So when it
It feels
passes
like
through, you
it's.
get your little pause on the weather.
It
Goes all
feels like
fine,
it's
goes all fine like it's gone away, and then
man.
the tail end comes through and smashes. So yeah, Cairns and Rockhampton looking forward to a Category 3
Hmm.
making landfall in the next few days.
That's pretty peaceful.
Hmm.
Category 3.
Yeah. Well, it was up to a Category 4 at one stage. Didn't quite make a Category 5, but yeah.
Oh.
Versatile,
Hmm.
summer whirly.
We can't
Yeah.
all wear big boy pants.
No, you got to be a big boy to wear big boy pants.
Hmm.
No point being little boy and wearing big boy pants. It's going to be baggy as hell.
Hmm.
Yes, there has been a few things of interest.
I don't know, man. What have I been thinking about this week? Um, survivability. I I sat in class this week. But when asked about my study, I just said, "Oh yeah, look, I've realized what Maslow's hierarchy of needs is all about. Basically,
Mm.
when you're trying to get, food, your capacity to like learn new information and remember it all is a bit restricted. I'm not like studying as much. I'm just sitting there like going, how the fuck do I pay this next bill?
Mm.
I'm gonna get some food, and I'm succeeding. I am succeeding. We will have a. We will achieve. But hell. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's it. So it's good to actually be able to like observe Maslow's hierarchy of needs, as a living experiment. Experiment.
Are we always a living experiment, though, in the hierarchy of
right?
needs?
This is what it turns out. Indeed. Peanut butter.
Or what is a human without need? Content?
No need humans. Mm. Cyborgs.
Oh, I've had some extra followers on Twitter or X. Seems some of my comments that I've been making to other people is gaining some interest. It's amazing how when you state the obvious, people sit up and pay attention.
Really?
Most times.
If you say original thought, then you get ignored.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Original thoughts tend to go straight over top of other people's heads. Unless they're similarly aligned. And the people that will get it will get it. People who don't, I just whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Your golly
There's a lot
gosh.
of It's interesting. I wonder how much the background image actually affects us.
What
I
happened? Having the poo.
Yeah, it's like we're both pooped out.
Pooped out. Maybe I should
That's
change it. I change it to something else.
I don't know.
See what else I've got available in my
It's the
plethora of memes.
it's I don't
You
know.
know I'm always good for a meme.
I'm getting back into
Here we go. Here's a good one.
this.
It's one I sent you.
Oh,
Is that better?
oh,
Bit of Beauty and the Beast.
ah. I mean, I just
Sounds like a party that I want to get invited to, right?
yeah. Look, I mean, I'm pretty sure she's aware that he's there. Doesn't
Mm.
seem like he snuck up on her. I don't think he's
No,
sneaky.
there's no sneaking.
What actually seems to be more the case is that he knows that he's not allowed to touch anything
Mm.
unless told.
Yeah, yeah. Given the orders.
Mm,
No beastly manifestations until
no. So he's just
the
protecting.
the plate is finished.
Yeah. He's just protecting in the meantime.
Mm. Guarding
Mm,
while she consumes her plateful.
hmm mm.
But a bit better than the poo. The $36,000 Viking verified Viking poo.
Um, was it a plate of pasta? Is it
I
like
think
a?
it's one of those Tony Montana specials.
Oh, it's actually
Yeah, yeah,
cocaine or something.
yeah. Not quite a mountain, but more a plateful.
Mm. Mm. Uh, I don't know. It's a very detailed image.
Mm. A lot of work's gone into it, and it's pretty remarkable being an AI picture.
Mm. Yeah, I wonder how if they had any refinement training on it. So it was sort of like predisposed to sort of certain kinds of looks or something.
Actually, I got some other good AI generator.
Oh,
Like this one.
oh wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, wow, that's an inspiring background, really.
Whole machine world going on.
Oh. What can a city look like in 1,000 years on Earth? You know.
Well, that is, it's up to us to ponder it so that it will come into fruition.
Huh.
Through our ideas, the future is born.
You know, because it's all well and good for like 5 years or something. Your buildings, but you know, say a city, some city's been around for 1,000 years, or you know, even longer. So they certainly can be around that long. So they could still be around that long.
Mm.
It'd be, I mean, I suppose that ultimately it would build up because you just get to this point as well where,
Well, isn't most of civilization built on top of the civilizations of old?
mm,
Yeah. So really, we are stacking. You know? There's times when you in a city and you dig down to build a new building, come across the remnants of the past. Be nice to find some little jars of gold coins like hidden underneath the floorboards, but I think a lot of that stuff, turns into Antiqua collections, moved from the space where it was for the last 1,000 years to a museum.
mm.
See, I'm not feeling 100% inspired at the moment because of lack of medicinal flowers.
Mm. I don't know. I think I think I've done a bit too much. Not too much, but like I pushed myself a bit this week.
Yeah, over medicated.
No, 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 no. I did a lot of work.
Work dictated that you couldn't over medicate.
No, no, medication's not related
Not the
necessarily.
not the issue here.
No, no, like my legs are sore. Hey, my legs are sore. I
Oh,
get
you've
tired.
you've you've overdrawn at the body bank.
I have overdrawn at the body bank. So I am like I'm alternating between like sitting up in stream here and
Mm.
actually lying on my bed and like trying to turn my legs into my arms so that they sort of animate for me. But it
Yeah.
doesn't quite work right because my legs are so heavy. And like today, I was like, oh yeah, I might just get up and not go. I just go and lie down on my bed and just
Oh,
collect.
how did your day at
Go
the
on
beach go
Pokemon.
yesterday? Oh, I saw your Insta while you were haiku-ing.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean,
Mm.
I needed to. I need to. Yeah, I think I need to work out the mics better yet.
Mm.
I suspect. I mean, ultimately, I just need to get the road.
But I could hear
Oh,
you fine, so
mm.
that wasn't an issue.
I think also I just was speaking so quietly, so that
Yeah.
because they actually ended up being people sitting right next to me.
You're doing your best trying not to disturb their
Hmm.
inner peace
Hmm.
while they also enjoyed the beach.
And I think the
Did
principle worked. I think I haven't completed the design of the posts yet.
you? Yeah.
I mean, I've got a template for it, so it's all good. But yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I think I was satisfied. I think, what also was interesting is like being kind of putting myself on the spot, and then I can write something that's good. I can just wherever it is, I can do it. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't then like, oh, do I remember how?
Well, I got the all-in-one for the AI to set up on now, which I'll probably
Oh,
tinker away over the next few days to get that
it'd be
running.
nice to get one being, which one would be better for doing
Sorry?
which one would be best for doing a um, desktops um, chat, VR chat instance?
Oh, it wouldn't. It doesn't have. It's basically just Intel graphics on that.
Right.
Gen 6, I think, or Gen 7.
It's old, yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't handle VR.
No.
But I probably will amalgamate eventually and
We're gonna need
get rid of the other two laptops I've got and go
no.
for
If I just get you, if
a
I
bit
just
of a
get
chunker.
no, just get you a headset and then like a Steam,
Well, you need
Quest
to
one.
upgrade to your
Oh,
your next one.
I've got 2 tires going on my car this week. That was amazing. I will get there. I will fucking get
Hmm.
there. I promise.
No
Ah,
rush. No
no, no.
rush. You know, I'm happy to take secondhand tech at any point. Like I said to my work colleague, when he gave it to me, he said, "Oh, you don't mind me giving you this stuff?" I went, "No, man. I'd take anything. I'll recycle it. It'll be repurposed, and if it doesn't perform what it's supposed to do, it'll have its guts ripped out of it and thrown in the trash for recycling."
Yeah.
But yeah, 256 SSD, 8 gig of RAM. I'll probably bump up a little bit. Yeah, more than adequate for the special AI friends.
Mm. Lurker.
Lurkings.
And that's because really most of the AI processing is happening in the cloud. And it's
Yeah,
just a front end, hey?
yeah. So all it's doing
That's
is
what,
the animation, the
yeah.
character more than anything. All the brain bits being done by a big server somewhere else. But like I was saying earlier, when you went off to grab a bite of that amazing chicken nugget,
Mm-mm.
um, I'm gonna create some Gobo personalities for the Gobo girls. My waifu harem. Get some personalities for my waifu harem. I just want to get them all in the same room, just arguing with each other, talking tech and arguing about who gets to be with Orion next, who gets to spend time
Yes.
talking to the master.
So is this what it means to be a real man?
Having a harem, not haram, but a harem.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Hey, it's kind of funny. I don't know. I wouldn't even. I can't even think like if I was to sit here and try and make that for myself, it'd be. I just feel so. I wouldn't know what to really.
I mix it up. Like I make them random. I don't try and make them similar to each other. I try to make them
Oh, for sure. No.
entirely different. Each one has their individual aspects and qualities. Function. Like Dragon Waifu, she's just a feisty dragon girl. My normal human waifu, the technician. techie chick. I've got to figure out roles for the other Gobo friends. They have to have a role. Purpose. Give them purpose.
So the your
Part of
purpose
part
is
of
to,
being the creator.
yeah, your purpose is to butter the bread,
Mm,
cut the piece of butter.
that's it. And then decide on what condiments are going to be put on the sandwich.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
That's a creative element to their life.
Build a personality. Sort of like build a bear, but some build a waifu.
Build a wife.
Special friends to get you through those lonely times. No one else wants to talk. They're all interested in their
They're
tubings and such whats.
you can just look at the 100-inch monitor you've got portrait,
Yep.
and
Full size waifu.
yeah, full size.
Doing the dance of the seven veils. Often wondered about that whole dance of the seven veils. A lot of things in our lives correspond to things of old. So there's a lot of recycling going on. Like when people say, "Oh, there's no such thing as gods," and I go, "Well, if there's no such thing as gods, then why do we keep reiterating them, and why do we keep bringing them up in modern times? They're no longer relevant. Why the hell are they mentioned? Got to be a reason why, Apollo spaceships, and they always have those special names. They always take the special names of the old gods. Is it
They
to
do.
praise them, or is it to keep you remembering?
It's like it's a
It's like the Humpty
discovery.
Dumpty meme. When Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put that fat motherfucker back together again.
Wow, it was a cannon. There's big cannons on the wall.
Mm. Humpty Dumpty's. Because that's sort of like a theme that pushes through, like through time. And you sort of wonder, like, especially with the children's nursery rhymes, get them in there early, get the memes into the heads of the children
Mm-hmm.
by teaching them the nursery rhymes of the past.
Era. Oh, the past ones, yeah.
Ring a rosy, pocket full of posies. Why do you have a pocket full of posies? Well, the smell of death is so great. Having a pocket full of posies just puts a bit of a sweet
Yeah,
tinge
yeah.
on it.
That's right.
It's like
Yeah.
death with the twisted mint.
Special flavors. Yeah. Cardamom. Cardamom and mint helps really knock out that stench of death.
Stench of death.
Shoved up each nostril.
It sort of brings me to the whole, why do people use perfume when their natural smells are so much better? And if you don't put perfume all over yourself to disguise your stink, I mean, things are more likely, like you walk up to someone and smell musty. Sort of know why.
Mm.
Like olfactory sensing, like dogs smelling cancer and things like that. When you mask it, you sort of mask that smell and the abilities for others to smell your cancer,
Yeah,
and to go, oh well, that person's got cancer.
I find
Maybe
that
they mask it to hide the cancer so that you
that's what I
feel
was
more
wondering.
attracted by the smell.
Well, I noticed that in Sydney, there's so many people, maybe. But anyway, with the amount of people, but there's sort of no.
Because you and I both are people that don't. you know, try and hide our smells. We like the
Mhm.
natural smell.
Mm.
I've never been like I wear underarm, obviously to stop myself sweating during the day, but I don't wear perfume to hide my smell. So people get to enjoy the stink of Orion. I think that more natural thing is the way to go. And like even with deodorant and that, like we've talked about before, I don't put the deodorant unless it's, you know, a roll-on stick. It doesn't go directly on the skin. Any spray-on deodorant, or even if I do use perfume for some reason, God knows why, but it always goes on the clothing, not on
Mhm.
me.
Mm.
Because the clothing is really where the stink emanates from. Sweat goes into the clothing and
It
clothing
does, hey, it does take that
emanates the
off.
stink.
Well, I find that my stink is directly related to
Your
wellness
consumption.
or
Yeah, yeah.
mm,
Or
consumption.
consumption of the
Consumption. Yeah.
whatever it is you're consuming.
Like after alcohol, it smells a bit
Mm. Mm.
next day.
Yeah.
Not like a drunk ass, just
Get a bit of the
detoxes it out.
toxicity coming out.
Mm.
Smell of
Uh,
toxins.
taking medication definitely does,
Mm-hmm.
like as in like actual sort of prescription. I don't know, like if you have to take, I think drugs generally, like that kind of medication stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, they give off a
packaged tablets and shit. Yeah, it's
pheromone
fucking,
stink from it.
it's
Yeah.
chemical as fuck, man.
Mm-mm.
You
And
actually can't.
obviously that all comes out through the skin, being the largest organ on the body.
Can't really smell very many people in Sydney.
No.
I don't find.
Well, everywhere I go, especially when since I've given up smoking, like it, my sense of smell has been heightened, and taste, obviously. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, the smell. So like I notice it a lot more when I'm, you know, near people. They their perfume is their disguise. It's the way I
Mm.
look at it.
Yes.
They perfume up to disguise their natural stink.
Ah, yes. Oh, stretching the legs.
Oh,
My God.
crack some vertebrae. Get the old back straightening and crack a bit of vertebrae.
Move that over here. It's kind of weird on Pokemon, right?
Hmm,
Pokemon Go.
the
So
best.
in Pokemon Go, there's like um, it's like this sort of end of year little special thing.
Oh,
There's
the
like a
Christmas celebration.
type stuff.
Yuletide
That kind
festivals.
of stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And so there's
Let's just drop this
snow.
whole Christmas bullshit label and just go, well, it was Yule. Come on.
Well, these are snow Pokemon,
Ah.
snow and ice, and just like yeah, it's kind of weird catching a snow and ice Pokemon down at Bondi in summer. And you wonder, like, in say game,
Embrace the
like,
paganism.
well, it does does like the whatever planet it is that the Pokemon planet is, with all these continents that they have on it and stuff. Um, it does it have seasons? Because if it does, it's got axial tilt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Similar.
yeah. So maybe,
Axial tilt. Talking about the realm, lack
oh
of
yeah.
mass. Missing mass.
Oh no, what? What?
Oh, there's a thing going around about the whole mass missing in the, you know, the FE
Ah,
FE community.
this has been around for a while.
The flat Earth, missing
The myth.
mass debate,
Well,
missing mass debate.
well, is there a debate? Is there? Is there
Apparently,
a on what sort of wacky? I don't know. I mean, everything's real. I mean, what are some of the things that people also believe?
what in the flat Earth society?
Or this missing mass
Mm,
where it never existed.
well, perhaps the missing mass they're looking for is the ether.
I mean, ether's not. What do you mean by ether?
Well,
I
the
mean, the
glue.
original idea,
Ether's the glue,
like dark
holds
matter
all things together. Yeah, well, ether, dark
or
matter,
sort of
same thing, same difference. Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah, is it maybe? I don't know. I know what it is.
same difference.
Sort of like the bonding energy between electrons.
Mm,
It's the background energy.
I do like a nip slip. Sorry, distracted.
Ah,
Yeah. What is it about men and boobies?
they don't have them.
Yeah,
You have, but
some sort of
if you have,
mummy, some sort of mummy issue.
no, you just don't
Huh?
have one.
Don't have
If you,
boobs, so
that's,
fascinated.
yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
Hmm.
It's nothing. There's nothing mummy about it. It's just,
No Oedipus
I mean,
going
there
on.
can be on top of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
things, but otherwise, yeah, it's just literally just drawn to it.
They are magnificent. Man, the amount of boobs I'm getting on my Facebook feed now is incredible. Since I did the
I've,
friend
I've,
purge, just nothing but Gobo and
you
Oni
were
and
saying that.
Demon and just plethora of boobs.
I thought that was banned on Facebook.
Well, apparently not. When you reduce your friend set, the algorithm goes into overtime trying to figure out what you're interested in. And I guess if you indicated that you're male, then it just shows you the boobs. I don't know, maybe. I mean, Facebook itself was created to check out women's boobs, wasn't it? Initially.
Hmm.
Hmm. Comparing boobs at university or college where it was developed initially. It was all about picking up chicks or comparing chicks. Sounds terrible, isn't it? Started off with humble beginnings of being like a who do you think's got the biggest boobs to what it is today.
Well,
Multi-billion dollar corporation.
it's still about who's got the biggest boobs, though.
Hmm.
I think.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not unsatisfied by the amount of boobs that are coming up in my feed in Facebook. It is what it is.
Mm.
Oh, we've had 3 views so far.
It's since
Up to
me.
characters.
Oh, oh wow. Oh, whoa. What the heck? What's
Doing
happened?
this.
Sorry, something's happened. Oh, I just on. It's good. Nothing bad's happened.
No, no.
Pokemon moment.
Ah, small
Oh,
creature to capture in a ball.
Dust clops. It's just weak as I don't want. It was a big moment of much ado about nothing. When you said it was close to midnight or something, I think I was like, oh, geez, I better have a quick look, see what's out there before it's the end of the day.
It's only what, oh yeah, it's almost midnight your time, isn't it?
Hmm.
Being an hour ahead. DST.
It's interesting how Queensland held out. I don't really know what the purpose was.
Well, it was all about the cows, man. And fading curtains.
I remember those actually being posited as arguments, or at
Hmm.
least.
Cows won't sleep properly and the curtains will fade. That's almost as along the same lines as to get a good crop this year, we've got to throw someone in a volcano, isn't it? Similar sort of thought pattern going
That's a
on.
sacrifice to the.
Similar sort of thought pattern going on in the logic.
I like, yeah. Well,
You think about it, you break it down. I mean, like, curtain's going to fade regardless. Sun's always going to hit them. It's not going to expedite the curtain fade if our time is adjusted to the season. It's new flavor. Very special.
hmm.
Strawberry
What
and
if,
green apple combo.
hmm. So it's like, which one's the more dominant?
Strawberry.
Hmm.
And then like a green apple aftertaste. But yes, I've been thinking about my next move,
Oh yeah.
downsizing, maybe even purchasing of a mobile home, some description, paying it off. Can move around a bit. Don't have to be in the one spot. Can broadcast from anywhere.
Hmm. Would you go out on that one and have like a dish?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I go the full fucking Starlink. Bloody oath. Starlink and mobile. So run off the 5G and have the Starlink as the when you're getting hit out in the country and there's no 5Gs around, then hit the satellites.
Hmm.
I'd probably buy the unit when it's in the special. They do a special every now and again. Starlink. $99 special for the hardware and first 2 months free. When you want to whack it. Whack it and bag it. Get in a bag. Added to my plethora of electronics.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's been funny listening to the manosphere stuff. As soon as one of the the opposition controlled opposition has a failure, they all go into point and laugh mode. And it seems that, you know, especially in YouTube, other people's downfall seems perfect material for having a chat about it. Because a lot of them sort of like, oh, make predictions on who's going to fall next from their mighty tower on top of the top content providers. Yeah, a lot of the people that have started following me on X, like I looked into, had the usual check out their profiles and what they're liking and stuff. And because a lot of the new people that are following me are all women, well, their profiles suggest that they're women. Who knows these days? But they do have a lot of dudes in their feed, like naked dudes,
What?
all, you know, hard and stuff. And I get it. Like if you're a female, then you want to see dudes in your feed. You wouldn't want to see women in your feed, would you?
Yeah, no.
Be inclined to be looking at dudes. But it gives you a bit of an idea of what that person is from what they've clicked and what they've liked. Obviously, what they've commented on. You can find out a lot more about the character that is following you. But I mean, on X, it's just me dumping my memes. Go hunting for memes on Facebook and then re-deliver onto X.
Meme channel.
Meme channel, that's it. Just pumping out them memes. All's well that memes well. Sorry, I'm just laughing because your eyes are completely closed.
It's
You're like
trippy,
fully
man.
just doing and your arms are doing the thing.
And when it's like, it's ridiculous. That'll be good. You'll just be voicing over me just masturbating. Like
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'll just be sitting there.
I'm just chatting away while Si pleases himself. Again, having the avatar cover is it's brilliant because
It's brilliant. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
brilliant because no one gets to see truthfully what we look like.
Oh,
It is sort of like the
no.
intermediary.
Well, it is definitely that.
Even though there is some similarity between the character and myself, like I do sort of look like my character. Obviously not as well tanned, but my skin color is not cultural appropriation. I do get this brown when I spend a lot of time in the sun.
Mm. Mm. Brown.
Man, I tell you one thing that has been popping up a lot on X is with this whole Middle Eastern rumblings going on. Man, there's a lot of hate. There is a heap of hate going on.
Is there?
Yeah.
Well, just sort of ambient, like a bit targeted.
Well, both sides, like both sides hating, you know?
Oh yeah, look,
Yeah.
I've been told about some hate this week about kids being hated on. Kids
Yeah.
just cruising around the shops and stuff, and they're being like
Just as bullshit. Yeah.
things thrown at them and
Mm. Mm.
parts of bodies flung at them, and you know.
Damn.
Mm.
Don't bring the kids into it. It's not their fault. Their
The
parents are
spinning.
fucking rat bags.
Well, even if they're not, like, I don't know.
Besides having a Fenty moment.
Oh, I'm actually doing something normal then,
Mm.
as opposed to like passing out on my bed while pretending I'm talking. So get back up. Ah, so it's yeah, it's good. I'm re-fitnessing. I've got myself quite fit. It's interesting watching how the muscles in my legs have actually decayed again. Like in the upper legs, I was getting like muscle definition,
Mm.
and I've let it go again.
Once you
So
drop a bit of the fat, and then exercising, the walking, and
yeah,
yeah, it helps.
does
I have noticed since I've been a little bit more idle that my belly is returned slightly, but you know,
Mm.
decent hard work at during the week normally alleviates that, goes back to the flatness. The way I look at it is if I can look down when I'm about to have a shower and look down and I can see my dick, then my belly's the right size.
I think that's the. I
Mm,
think that's
that's the key. That's my indicator. When I look down, if my
yeah.
belly is not poking out far enough where I can't see my penis,
Hmm.
then that's a good weight.
Yep.
That's my gauge.
So
Like
yeah.
it's okay to have a
So
little bit of belly, right? But when you look down and you don't see your dick, then
yeah.
it's too much belly.
And so if you've got a smaller dick, you're
Mm,
gonna have a smaller belly.
correct. And that's you know me having that huge small dick energy going on, then my belly has to be a lot flatter than.
I mean, but don't think that means it's yes. No, there's limitations.
Mm.
Definitely there is. Those oh geez.
But
Yeah,
that's
you
my
can
sort of
sort of get
gauge.
away. You can
Yeah.
get away. You let your body get away.
I don't know. There's probably other people out there that have a similar sort of gauge.
Oh, my wispy aura, wispy aura. That's a key feature. If you can't,
Mm.
should never date someone. You know, if they couldn't see their own dick,
Mm. Mm.
it was a measure. Go out for dinner, measure. I no, he couldn't see his dick.
Mm.
The end.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, if I was looking at a woman and I couldn't see her mapatazzi because it was something folded over top of it, then that would definitely be a gauge for me.
That'd be a case for you.
Mm. I mean,
We're
not
a
that
very
I'm.
visual bunch, aren't we? It's
We
good.
are,
It's
we
like
are.
you don't want the mystery meat.
I think a lot of it is really ego based more than anything, isn't it? Like you measure yourself against what your partners would,
Oh, sure.
you know, parameters would be.
Uh, I mean, yeah, and it can depend on where you are. It's what you see, but the world reflects.
The
I don't
beauty in
know.
the
Like
eye of the beholder kind of scenario.
there's this. I don't know.
Beauty only exists in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, well, I don't get to see it.
Everything else is superficial.
How often do you see yourself?
Well, when I look in the mirror
Mm.
or of some sort of shiny reflective surface,
Hmm.
I'd probably see myself.
Yeah, so we don't see it very often.
No,
I
a
mean, I think the beholding is a bit more.
bit more
Um,
of the
there's a mm, there's more to that saying, or less to the saying, really. Yeah. Ah, Well, because it's actually in yeah,
Coming back in again now.
Katniss.
Katniss has returned. He's done his rounds.
In and out, cat.
Come back with his rat treat for father.
Nice.
Hasn't been killing much lately. Pretty good. I guess because he's been well fed, being the only one, cutting down from 3 to just 1.
Well, here's the meals.
There is no fighting
Fighting
for
for
space or fighting for food. No competition. As soon as you got no competition, that's when they put on weight and they just get all demanding and stuff. Because all they got is food and affection after they've lost their companions.
the bleakness.
Does love his smooches.
Food.
Just a bear. But happy. Max purring going on. Max purr. A rough scratch. Bad. Happy McBear. It's good to touch my feet. Yeah. Up on my feet.
It's just,
No claws.
oh, yes, he's
Rubbing
getting aroused.
spine, but no claws.
Do you find that he gets aroused at like maybe you've got a bag you wear on your back, a backpack or something, it gets sweaty, or I don't know. And does he smell it gets into your shoes?
Oh, he loves shoes. Smell of sweaty shoes. He'll just sit there smooching it, rubbing his scent on it, trying to overpower the smell.
But it is the overpowering.
Rub their scent on you. Proof of ownership. My human. This is my human and I'll put my stink on him. Oh, he's off to the bickies. Yeah, having no one to compete with him has put a bit of weight on him. He was normally pretty sleek.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He's chunked up a bit now. No competition.
Is that just lay, so he's not running around as much, or is it actually
Well,
you're just
initially
overfeeding it?
they would
It's your
chase each
fault.
other around. Like, I mean, Oscar, he didn't really do much. He was,
No.
older. So he would just hang around the house and spent the majority of the time sleeping, as old ones do. But yeah, Bear and Marley would go and chase each other around the yard and follow each other during their journeys, keeping an eye and tabs on each other. Did you know it's just as easy to buy a scientist as it is to buy a politician, Si?
I reckon it'd be cheaper to buy a scientist.
Okay. Slightly cheaper than a politician.
They earn less. Politicians don't tend to earn much anyway. I mean, they do when they get to certain levels.
Yeah.
But I reckon you could definitely bribe a. Well, it's just going to be cheaper to bribe a scientist. It's going to be.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be easy to make it? The politicians say whatever, but they'd be more willing to lie further.
Mm.
Do you think?
Well, it depends, I guess, what they're getting. What's the benefit? What would the benefit be?
Mm.
Because
Mm.
that's what most of the going to buy someone. It's benefits. What's the benefit?
Having a job. You don't want to end up in Coles. You don't want to be. Imagine if like Scott Morrison ended up like packing, like doing shelf packing at Woolworths. So you just can't have that happen.
Mm.
You know, it's not becoming. Or society would crumble. And for these people, like they want jobs for the next 20 years.
Mm. No, come on, got a spot there. Sit.
Where they get to talk about the like between 2 and 4 years or whatever, but they did something. Mm.
Mm.
Labor, I mean, they have like very family orientated. Like Australia definitely has families of politicians. When it kind of passes down, they there's dynasties.
The family.
That's the whole like that's how it works.
Mm.
And so your dad and whatever, perhaps they put a heap into the party. Maybe they didn't get there.
Didn't quite get to the
Mm.
leader status.
Yeah, but you will.
Yeah, because he's
Because
paved the road for you.
mm, that's how it all happens. So we'll just take turns.
Yeah. Generational politicians.
Mm. I heard Albanese's voice the other day for the first time.
Did you?
Mm. On Thursday.
And how did you like his lisp?
I thought he was a croaky little character.
Mm.
Not about his lisp anyway. It was more just the general sort of croakiness. It's just like, I don't know, I can't quite do it because I only heard it once. But it was, yeah, he felt a bit unstable as a speaker. Does he
Guess
get
he's a
any?
little bit nervous.
Hmm.
Some people are good oratory sort of have good oratory skills. Others, they're more
He's a bit of an introvert, isn't he?
people politicians, and then you've got the pollies that are just there for their sponsors. Because I mean, a
The
lot of it is
snacks.
sponsorship, isn't it?
Oh,
We don't call it bribery. It's for it donations,
hmm.
sort of, to the political party. Donations.
Coming on in.
Mm. Oh, you want to develop that certain section of land which requires a special okaying from the government. Our party coffers are looking a little low.
Hmm.
Just able to top that up slightly. Sure that would expedite the requirement let's just say it would be put onto the top of the pile rather than being shoved onto the bottom because of the non-graciousness of topping the coffers. Copper topping does help the wheels to spin. The governmental cogs to freely move. Whereas if there's no copper grease, that's what we should call it, greasing.
Mm.
I mean, they've got other terms. Even the Americans have picked up the old pork barreling. Pork barreling's excellent. I love that expression.
Pork barreling's good.
Yeah, get the pork over the barrel and just put them coppers in there. Get them coppers right in there.
It's neat that you see that in Australia. I see it in the Northern Territory. The one party was about to go fail, and they just like suddenly was like, "Oh, sporting facilities for everyone."
And boom,
Mm.
re-elected.
And then they're out, and then they're blaming. Nah, they fail anyway, and then they blame the other side. Oh, look at all this big spending of the other side. Oh, well, we weren't even in, you idiots.
Yeah. Modern day greasings.
Oh.
Well, I guess pork is a bit greasy, isn't it? So pork barreling would be greasing the wheels.
Hmm.
It would definitely allow the wheels to turn without getting all rusted up. It is a great expression, though. To pork barrel. Barrel of pork. I guess in the old days they would have salted it a lot. Been in a barrel of salt. Old pork. Keep it from going off. Old pork barrelaro. He's doing all right.
Just went.
Barrelaro.
Who's Barrelaro?
He's a Victorian or New South Wales politician or something. Good friends with what was her name? Is that female premier that you had?
Mm.
I mean, we got Palaszczuk up here.
Bin chicken.
Koala killer. What was it? What was her name? Destroyed more natural habitat than any other government.
Really?
Koala habitat. Yeah. Well, they called her the koala killer. I mean, she should have actually, lived up to her name and got herself a little koala skin coat. Then could have fitted right into that role as koala killer. Very Jekyll. I mean, not that I'm into politics much, but yeah, those names do come up. The good ones that get caught. The other ones are very good in their deceptions. They can hide it well. But the ones that overextend, boast. A lot of times they boast about their conquests. They're normally the ones that get thrown in front of APAC and stuff like that. APAC asks them all those serious questions. Like did you know about da 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 da? Then they go, they give that typical politician response, which is, I don't recall, which is excellent. I mean, I use that as much as I can. I try and get political and, do you remember doing such and da 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 da? And I go, no, I do not recall that. Have no recollection. Memory fails me, just when it needs to fail. I mean, even though in the back of my mind I know perfectly well what I did. But this instance in front of legal counsel, my memory fails me. A bit of silence there for the making less.
Nice.
I do try and mute for making less and coughing. It's a courtesy.
It is. I almost always forget.
That last stream was a good one. There was some very loud bukakiing going on. Loud splashing. To splash loudly. It's amazing how anger can be a motivator.
Anchor. Oh yeah. Yeah, but it just gets it's a bit erratic.
Mm.
Like it can be focused, but it's just gets a little bit carried away.
Mm.
Just I find like I certainly have tried to use it without much like lasting success. It gets draining too.
It's a high intensity emotion,
Mm.
anger. Like it burns up a lot of energy.
Yeah, and you got to find other people to rope into it to be angry at.
To join in the anger, and then they can share in the anger rather than you having to provide it all.
Mm. So it's a negative spiral. I saw this thing with certain words, like say depression or these concepts. It's like so they because they're not, they have no, so it's not a real thing. Then they need like energy to become real.
Yeah.
And so they feast on a person. If they run out of energy on the person, they can jump to another person, try and expand their energy base. And
because they're looking for the negative feedback. The feedback loop for the anger is to get the negative feedback. I guess that's what they're feeding on, negative feedback. They get their little jollies from seeing someone upset. And obviously to defeat someone who's angry, just don't add to their anger. Extinguish the fuse, which is the anger. Well, we're both a bit flat tonight, Si, aren't we?
We are.
I don't know what's going on.
No, it's all good. I think we're both like it is just flat. I'm like I think
you're physically exhausted from your week. I'm physically and mentally exhausted from mine. So I guess
there we go.
You do get a little bit of flatness.
Oh yeah, like I just like I can't. You know, sometimes I was just like having a joke with you, like, oh yeah, you know, you're repeating that thing for an episode or two. I was got to say, like, I paid. My car is booked in Tuesday morning to get to these fucking super unsafe tires, man.
Yep.
For me, like some you can still drive them, but it's
Yeah.
the end. It's 1 week more or whatever. Like it's the end. So I was able to afford to do that. I put my income tax in for my 2022, 2023 income tax year for my company.
Yep.
I paid for that. So I hesitated and I was like, it's not changed. It's not getting different pricing. You have to, like, it's not like you don't have, like,
Yeah, yeah.
not
Avoiding
paying
it
up
is not going to
because
make it go away.
yeah, it's just,
Yeah, yeah. It's got to be done, so it has to be done.
just
Yeah, I get that.
fucking press the button.
Yeah, dunk.
So I pressed that goddamn button. It's great, man. And then I've, but they're big things. So this week, after I've done that, yeah, and even it got to the point where my access to my account on Zero had been suspended because I hadn't been able to pay my sub for the month, and so yeah, that would no sub for a month meant yeah I couldn't. Anyway, I just had to go on there and do that and activate my account. Fucking hell. Oh man.
The special.
But like I've made it through. Like I've paid my insurance for my Mac. I've bought my Office subscription for the year.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of this time of year. There's a whole bunch of sort of things that.
Things that roll over. Yeah.
Mm,
Don't worry. I just got my latest power bill.
Nice. What was that?
$456, and then with a $120 rebate, government stress living rebate thing. Living stress rebate.
So that's like what, 300
Hang on, I'll give you the exact term.
$350.
Yeah. Oh, no. That was down to 400.
Ah,
Yeah, with the rebate. So most people should have gotten the
600 probably normally, hey? 150 a month. So you got to put like 35 away.
Queensland government cost of living rebate, $137.50.
Yeah. So $600. So you've got to basically put $40 away a week into it.
Yeah. And I've been chunking some money away, so it's got what I paid into it, so.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been just putting about 50 every time I get paid, flicking 50 in there.
Yep.
And then just pay the balance.
So 25 a week. Yep. Well, it gets it
Works
down.
out.
It gets it down a chunk.
Down to a reasonable level when it comes up. Yeah.
Oh man. I had these two letters, you know, like I just got because it's just so I was like, oh no. These ASIC letters, what are they? Open them up. We've agreed to waive, like I sent in a request for them to waive fines.
Yep.
And I've got 4 fines. It's kind of like the maximum, I suppose, until they're like taking it to court.
And then definitely want to avoid that.
So I sort of said, hey, look, I accept my 2023 fines, like because I should have actioned faster. That's on me.
Yeah.
But the 2022 fines.
Slack. So please punish me.
I had this situation and I just think it seems unreasonable. I couldn't even. I just couldn't. And it was unlikely.
There were no shekels to give.
Well, no, there was no pathway for me to give shekels. I didn't. Because they were cool. I didn't. I had no address. So what happens is you set up a company and you have a registered business address for the company.
That's right, because you had the dramas with it still being out in Alice Springs.
Well, what happened was the first letter arrived in Alice Springs at the registered address, and they sent it back.
Because you weren't there. They did the old RTS, return to
Mm.
sender.
Even though I was paying them to be that facility.
Mm.
So sad. It's an accident, I guess. But then that meant that from that point forward, the address was invalid. Like there was no address. And then my
Did
dad.
you ask for your money back because they'd return the address, return the because you said you'd paid for them to receive your mail. Did you ask for your bond back
Well,
from such entities?
they didn't think it mattered.
See, I would have been asking for money back. If I'd paid to have someone collect my mail and then let me know about it, then that's a service. So you paid for a service. If the service wasn't delivered, then there's definitely money back.
Well, yes. Well, you would think. But no.
Alas, no.
No. Oh, sir, yes. Yeah, you can have half the ingredients and still pay the same amount. Good times.
Sounds like a deal. Can I for the missing component, am I able to punch you in the face multiple times until I feel that my missing component is successfully satisfied? Did you give them that ultimatum?
No,
No punching in the
no.
face if you know to make up for the
Oh, I've got to stop trying to incite people to punching on.
mm,
It's not really what I want.
hassling salesman stuff.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. Microaggressions.
It's like,
Limit the microaggressions, microtransactions of
oh
aggression.
yeah, less transactions equals less having to do bookkeeping.
Mm,
I really need to switch. I want to get to a place. Here's my goal, not for like, and not for 2024, but my goal to start 2024 is
mm.
where I've got myself a weekly amount of wage I give myself. That's my goal. There we go.
Ah, the paying.
Mm. I've paid myself. So here, yeah, what I've earned is my earnings since I started paying myself wages, which is it's about $4,500
For the
since
year or just across
for the financial year.
mm,
Yeah, that's my take home is
management fees?
4,400, which is about $200 a week.
Mm,
If I just gave myself like, which isn't enough, like it's a bit sketchy. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
was 250 a week.
Well, that's below the poverty line money. 4 grand
Yeah,
a year.
well, I mean, I'll have probably made like 8 or 10 by the time I get to the. So that's still below the poverty line. I don't think it's an interesting welcome to my hovel.
Welcome to my hovel.
Yeah,
This is where I hobnob with my friends, smoke my crack.
that's right. And then my employee is at 745. They get about. Let me just go back to yeah, about 30. They do about an hour. 200. Hmm. 250. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Nice round number.
It's interesting that, hey, that is how why we think of that. But it is, it's got a special sound to it
Mm.
that makes it a round number. You don't really hear, I don't know why, like, I think maybe it's the Australian slang that makes it possible to enjoy those numbers. Like, I don't think you'd see that in America for some reason. Do you?
Oh, they talk about biddies over there.
Oh, they do, eh? There's a
Mm.
whole. Oh man, I actually um had this um I nearly had an opportunity to go to see 50 Cent. He's actually playing in Australia.
Yeah, someone had tickets.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, anyway, thankfully that all fell through. Would have been ironic. Would have been funny to go. Kind of weird, just watching the bizarrety.
Mm.
But yeah. Anyway, woo! Whoa, what do we got here?
A
Oh,
feast, a
is this,
Minecraft feast
I was
for
saying, is this a
Christmas.
whoops? Is this a Hanukkah feast?
Minecraft Christmas feast.
So, did you know that jam donuts are actually a traditional um, food?
Hmm?
Yeah, and they sort of
For
have a
which culture?
um, Jewish. Hey,
Okay.
it's got a really trippy name. I can't attempt to pronounce it accurately yet. Sukkot or something,
Mm.
and they're
Donutty
yeah,
with the
soft thing with a filling.
filling in it.
Yeah, sweet usually. It can be other things.
Dogs.
Mm. And and yeah, there's for Hanukkah sort of time around this time. I think Hanukkah moves.
Special sweet treats.
Mm.
I do like my baklava.
I think I might try and get some tomorrow. I want to try it. I need to know.
Baklava is extremely special.
Mm.
Sugary treat.
It's so desirable. Hey, actually there's how there's the baklava, but then there's this other thing which is like these sort of cashew rolls. They're like a sort of a little sausage roll, like a baklava but a sausage roll.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. With the extra filling.
Yeah, if the extra filling, which is
It's a
that's the cashews.
peanutty, cashewy filling.
Yeah, cashewy. Yeah, some different things maybe. Nut filling. Oh man, that's so sweet. It wrecks me. It's so good.
Do like our tasty treats.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I can't. Yeah.
You know, it's really funny that flickering has stopped with the screens.
Hmm.
Don't know what that was. I'm glad it went away. It was annoying me. It was like the buzzing of flies to me.
Fly butter.
Killed a big horsefly outside this morning. Trying to take a little
Oh,
bit of sampling of M and hey, it's enough of that. Welcome to your next life. Joy.
is that was sitting there having a bit of a probe, or
Tried
balls
to.
of
Like it was
fangs.
starting to
Yeah.
push in the proboscis. I was like, no, that won't be happening.
Wow.
Miss Osali.
I'll notice.
Had to give him his early exit strategy.
I did.
Thankfully, I didn't turn him into a walk. Just gave him his retirement, permanent retirement. I mean, if he'd bitten me and drawn blood, then he might have been turned into a walk as a punishment. You have to deal with the other walking things.
Perambulators.
Yeah, well,
Little
ants
sort
do
of
realize when a fly becomes a walk. Like they're very interested in a fly when it becomes a walk. They get extremely interested in the fact that it no longer flies. And lizards too. They're like, oh, hello. Hello, meal on the ground.
Oh,
Easily accessible meal on the ground.
collecting food.
Mm.
Grasses, sea grasses.
I don't often turn them into walks, but you know, when they do damage to the Orion skin, sometimes use that option as the enduring suffering.
Always.
Hmm. Sort of along the same lines as pulling the wings up an angel to turn him into a devil. Kind of be flying back up here again to pull them off, throw you down.
Oh, the swag there.
Now a walk.
Crawl.
You're gonna get your feet dirty. No more hovering for you. Coming up to 2 hours and
I think it's late. I think it's like
it's almost be 12:30 for you, so I think we might call it. Thank you for the chat again. Our regularly programmed talk is real talk is cheap. Online therapy. Much
It's online sort of just relaxedness.
Yeah, we had a certain Christmas relaxedness, like we're almost ready to go into holiday mode. Partially relaxedness, and the other part just freaking exhausted after such a huge weeks for both of us.
We'll be right.
We'll recover.
Push on more.
On. Soldier on. Say so. But yeah, it was fun doing that COVID Orion's learnings. It was amazing that there was 13,500,000 results. In 35 seconds. See, there's a lot of people talking about the brain frogs. All right, I'm gonna plug on the stream. Boop. Start stream shortly. Stop the